In today's video, I'm going to recap the SPY price action as well as a couple of trades that I took. So I took two trades today. Both were 0 DTE options. One was a put, one was a call. The put was for 30% and the call was for 15%. So I'm going to go over those, but first, as always, I'm going to go through my levels, how I got them, and then I'll discuss my key levels as well. So the zones here, this very bottom zone, I was looking for price action in the last couple of days to draw these zones, but since we were making some new lows here that we hadn't seen in probably like in a week and a half, 2 weeks, I had to go all the way back to early January. So this bottom zone comes from January 10th low of day, that demand zone. This next zone comes from January 9th low of day. I have another zone up here from January 6th high of day, and then there was this really big pivot point here that I had for an overhead supply zone from January 10th. So those were where my zones came from. I had one last zone up here, which we never got to, but we got close, which was from yesterday's low of day. So that was my top supply zone there. So yeah, so that's the setup, and then all of these levels are fib levels. And this level right here, I think I just took from looking at the daily chart and finding a key support there. So I guess a key resistance there. So I'll start out. So we start the day, we have a pretty strong open. We go all the way past these two zones and we hit this 50% fib level, which we then get a very clean rejection down. We reject all the way back down to the 38.2 fib level, which we had support from earlier. And then we kind of just consolidate there for a bit. What I started to notice is when we consolidated, we were kind of consolidating in a wedge pattern, and I was looking for some kind of break of this pattern to give me confirmation for a move somewhere. So I noticed that was happening, and then I noticed that we got this big drop down. So I entered this play after I got confirmation. So there's a few things here. I was looking for puts. I was looking for a red MACD crossover, which we got. I was looking for a bearish 9 and 21 EMA crossover, we got. I was looking for a break of this pattern, which we also got. And then I was looking for an increase in volume, which we got. Down here you can see on this bearish candle, we got an uptick in volume. So I entered puts there. My first target was this fib level right here, which we had support on. My second target was this next fib level down, which was also this candle's low where it wicked. And then my final target was the top of this demand zone as well, which was also the pre-market low. So I scaled out and ultimately got 30% on those contracts. So let me show you. So this was a setup that I posted earlier. That's how it played out. And I gained 3% on the port because I took 30% profit on those. And so we just kind of continued down from there. We found support on this zone, and then we actually bounced pretty strongly from there. We rejected VWAP in the 21 EMA, and we continued down. And it also helps. You'll notice that we were in a pretty strong channel here. So let me draw that out. So we were trending down for a while in this channel, and then we broke out of this channel. Once we broke out of this channel, I was looking for calls, and I got my call entry right here. So we broke out of this channel. We also broke up above the 21 EMA. We had a bullish engulfing candle. We had a green MACD crossover, and we also had an uptick on volume right there on that breakout. And so I was waiting for something to give me confirmation, and I started to get a bull flag. You can't really see it here, but let me show it to you. If we go back here. So you can see that we started to have a bull flag. This is when I entered my calls, and my target was this 38.2 fib level or the VWAP, whichever came first. And then that played out. It's just a matter, it was probably 1 or 2 minutes, and I got 15% of those. So 15% in a couple minutes when we find the perfect setup. That was my second trade. I was happy with that, and so I stopped trading for the rest of the day. But if we kind of analyze the price action after that, we rejected off of VWAP. We went all the way down here. We found support close to the supply zone, and then we had some movement upwards. We closed above VWAP, and then once we closed above VWAP, we started to really pick up traction. We kind of rode the 9 EMA past both of these zones. We rejected the 200 EMA. That would have been a nice spot for puts if you took those. And then we found some support on the bottom of this zone, and then again we broke out, closed above the 200 this time, so we got a little bit more upside, and then we ended up just consolidating and then kind of slowly moving back down for the rest of the day. So 2 trades, that's all I took, and yeah, that was a recap.